If you've been on the internet at all in the last week, you've seen the latest media spectacle being pushed about Michael Jackson, that he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein, and somehow a part of the Epstein files. These files are basically a bunch of legal documents and records that show Epstein's decades-long paper trail of emails, reports, flight logs, and everything collected by the US government during their investigations into him. Little by little, things from those files have been leaking onto the internet, and it's become a problem because they, allegedly, include a list of high-profile individuals who were connected to him in some way. We're talking politicians, celebrities, and powerful elites. And yes, those politicians, allegedly, may include that man in the White House. So obviously, a distraction is convenient, and that distraction came in the form of every media outlet's favorite scapegoat, Michael Jackson. Suddenly,
So let me pause first. Shout out to What About Baby Boy, who told me about this, because I'm going to hold you. I didn't pay attention to none of that. Like, I ain't see none of that. So I find it interesting. I'm like, I thought the whole situation was about politicians and Bill Clinton and Agent Orange. I thought that's what the whole releasing the files was. And I'm like, we really doing in 2025 in this economy, we're doing Michael Jackson, such and such. I'm like, really? Are we still doing this? Like, is this a slow news week, or we're still trying to find a way to ruin his legacy? Like, what? Like, y'all don't have nothing better else to do, so it should be intriguing.
Photos, some that have been online for well over a decade, have started flooding the MJ media space, and major news outlets are spreading what that man in the White House claims is fake news. So let's talk about the actual stories behind these photos, and the real nature of Michael Jackson's quote-unquote relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. For those who don't know, Jeffrey Epstein was a wealthy financier who claimed to manage money for the ultra-rich, but that barely scratches the surface. Behind the scenes, he was involved in extremely serious criminal activity, especially involving minors, and that's saying the absolute least. Okay, so what does any of this have to do with that hee-hee man? You know, Michael Jackson?
What was it? Was it Mickey Free? When everybody thought that Prince had a new girl in the Revolution. It's like, oh, Mickey Free, the new hot chick. I'm not calling him Michael a hot chick. I'm just saying. Was it Mickey Free? I think it was Mickey Free.
Nothing. And that's the point. But because it involves Epstein, who committed crimes involving minors, and Michael, who had been accused but ultimately acquitted, let me say that again for the girls in the balcony.
The girls in the balcony, I love you, you're wonderful.
Acquitted, it creates the perfect storm for people to drag out their favorite narrative about Michael being guilty of crimes he did not commit. People love to ignore the fact that MJ was investigated for decades by the FBI while he was alive, and nothing was found. And every attempt to permanently attach this scarlet letter accusation to his name after his death has failed too, or is actively failing. I'm looking at you, James Safechuck, Wade Robson, and the Casio family. But Hannah, Michael Jackson openly admitted multiple times that he liked having children in his bedroom and spending time with them.
But is it really appropriate for a 44-year-old man to share a bedroom with a child who is not related to him at all?
No. I'll answer for that. I'll answer that for Mike. No. And I still don't agree with that, by the way.
It's a beautiful thing.
That's not a worrying thing?
Why should it be worrying? Who's the criminal? Who's Jack the Ripper in the room?
So why is it so wild to think he could have been involved with someone like Epstein? You know, I'm glad you asked that. Context matters here. Yes, Michael Jackson did say he enjoyed the company of children, but what people seem to never clock when it comes to that is that there was nothing sexual about it. His motives weren't sinister.
Just because it's in print doesn't mean it's the gospel. People write negative things because they feel that's what sells. Good news to them doesn't sell. People think sex. They're thinking sex. My mind doesn't run that way. I am not going to do anything sexual to a child. It's not where my heart is. I will slit my wrist first. I would never do anything like that. That's not Michael Jackson, I'm sorry. That's someone else.
MJ
Love that shirt, by the way.
never had a childhood. He was too busy working, performing, touring, and building one of the biggest legacies in entertainment history. I know that's a foreign concept for some of y'all's faves, but stay with me. So, as an adult, he tried to reclaim parts of his childhood he lost. He created Neverland. He invited disadvantaged youth to his home. He befriended child actors and families. To him, children represented innocence. They didn't care that he was Michael Jackson, king of pop, global superstar. To them, he was just MJ, or Applehead, the affectionate nickname some close to him used.
We couldn't go to the movie theaters. We couldn't go to Disneyland. We couldn't do all those fun things. We were on tour. We were working hard, and we enjoyed it. We did enjoy it, but this allowed me to have a place behind the gates where the entire world, everything that I love is there. When other men have their Ferraris or they have their it's an airplane or a helicopter or whatever they find, wherever they find their bliss. And my bliss is in giving and sharing and having simple, innocent fun.
And we also conveniently forget another very important detail. When Michael said children stayed in his room or had sleepovers, number one, he slept on the floor while they took the bed.
I'm sleeping in a sleeping bag on the floor. I gave him the bed, and I'm on the floor in the sleeping bag.
Did you ever sleep in the bed with them?
No.
Because at the end of the day, although Michael transcends race, he is a black man who grew up as a black boy with two black parents. And so I was explaining the whole dynamic of being comfortable with sleeping in a room with multiple people, whether your parents are like laying on the floor and you're somewhere else. It's very much a cultural thing. And it's not just a black thing, but I can only speak as a black person. It's not abnormal. And I remember asking, I'm like, well, when you had friends
Head to feet.
come over, where did they sleep? And this man had the nerve to say, in the guest room. What do you mean? Sir, thank you for being so lucky that you had a guest room, but when my guests came to sleep over at my house, they were in my room. That is a very specific black experience, a black child experience. And it makes so much sense that he didn't have a childhood that he would continue to do that in that way.
And number two, this wasn't some tiny bedroom. This was Michael Jackson's bedroom. We're talking about a space the size of probably two one-bedroom apartments.
Well, the thing is with that whole thing is that, they go, oh, you slept in the same bedroom as him. It's like, I don't think you understand. Michael Jackson's bedroom is 2 stories. And it has like 3 bathrooms and this and that. So when I slept in his bedroom, yeah, but you have to understand the whole scenario.
It wasn't what people tried to imagine it as. Fine. But if all of that is true, and this is just another media ploy, why? Why Michael Jackson? Why a man who has been gone since 2009? The answer boils down to the fact that MJ was the most famous person alive and arguably the most famous person deceased. His legacy and...
It's not an argument.
impact had no limits. This was a man who was in a hugely successful group as a child, released the biggest selling album of all time, and purchased the ATV music publishing catalog, which contained the rights to the Beatles' entire discography, all before his 30th birthday. That's a black king right there.
That's a black king right there! That's a black king right there! Give me that! Give me that!
On top of that, he was someone who used his voice and influence to help others. He created songs about the climate, global issues, and suffering children around the world. He donated tour proceeds to various charities and still managed to maintain a private life in a world that demands celebrities be constantly accessible. He didn't play by anybody's rules but his own. And on top of all of that, Michael Jackson was powerful, black and powerful. And he didn't play dirty to get there. He wasn't doing the things a lot of these Hollywood elites were doing behind the scenes. He earned his position through talent, perseverance, and an unmatched work ethic, and the system couldn't let him win. Or as he said in his song Unbreakable, you can't believe it, you can't conceive it, and you can't touch me, cause I'm untouchable, and I know you hate it, and you can't take it. You'll never break me, cause I'm unbreakable. Man, I just know the rent on Neverland Ranch was due when he wrote that one! Woo child, stream Invincible, y'all! It was widely publicized that Michael Jackson was visiting Miami and other parts of Florida in 2002 and throughout 2003. During that time, he was frequently seen spending time with businessman Al Malnick, who was known for his work in finance and lending. It has also been said that he was frequently seen spending time with businessman Al Malnick, who was known for his work in finance
ain't gonna hold you. I always thought he should have went back to the natural, bro. Like after, I want to say like after History, he should have went back to the natural like Prince did. It would have been dope to see him like with a fro in the 2000s. I thought that would have been dope to see. I ain't gonna lie.
And lending. It has also been said that he was linked to organized crime, but I can't confirm or deny that, and he himself has denied any association with it, so do with that what you will. Anyway, in an interview from August 2009, Malnick explained that he and Michael met through their mutual friend, Brett Ratner. Michael and his children stayed at his home quite a bit, and it was really just a chance for MJ to relax and be a normal person for once. Malnick was also helping Michael with his financial issues during that period. I first met Michael about 9 years ago. I was told that he had heard about me and was interested in meeting, and in particular wanted to request a tour of my house in Palm Beach. Michael was an architecture buff, and he had admired the property from afar. Throughout the past decade or so, Michael would come and stay at the house quite a bit, sometimes with the children and sometimes alone. It was an extraordinary time. Michael was an amazing house guest because he really didn't require any attention. I helped Michael out financially in a lot of different areas when he needed it. At that time, we managed to resolve all of his financial problems. After that period, which was shortly after I was requested to guarantee his bail, I felt it was not in our best family interest to spend all of the time that was required to get Michael on the right track again, because at that point he had capable people around him. And of course, geography was a big problem because Michael's business interests are essentially in California or out of New York or Europe. I really just didn't have the time to continue to devote myself to trying to resolve the many considerations that were in his life. The last time I saw Michael was right before his trial, although we spoke many times after that. He was a bit meaner at that time. He was so furious and so disappointed at the charges being hurled at him. He swore to me that he was absolutely innocent of each and every charge that was made against him. And that's the way it turned out. Now, I take the time to mention all of this to show that it was no secret MJ was staying in Florida during that time. He was out shopping, meeting with lawyers, attending events like the Palm Beach Film Festival.
Controversial singer was spotted.
Yo, what is Mike doing? Like, what is... Bro, like, what is, like, what?
Now, I take the time to mention all of this to show that it was no secret MJ was staying in Florida.
Well, I'm trying to think, like, what song could be playing right now? He's probably playing, Jam. That's usually his go-to, Jam or, like, Earth song. But that can't be Earth song. He's probably listening to Jam. That'll, like, Janet Rhythm Nation.
During that time, he was out shopping, meeting with lawyers, attending events like the Palm Beach Film Festival.
Controversial singer was spotted at the Palm Beach International Film Festival. Reportedly, he's house hunting there.
Going to restaurants and even house shopping. Don't you think if Michael had any intention of meeting with someone like Epstein and knew the kind of person he was, he would have been a little more discreet, a little more secretive? Exactly. Now let's get into the reason you're all really here. The photos. I'm going to start with this photo taken on April 24, 2002 during a fundraiser for the Democratic National Committee's Every Vote Counts campaign at the Apollo Theater in Harlem. Bill Clinton introduced Michael to the stage where he performed Dangerous, Black or White, and Heal the World.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most remarkable performers in American history, the King of Pop, Mr. Michael Jackson.
With Diana Ross joining him for the final song. This ended up being the last live performance Michael ever gave in front of an audience. In the photo, you clearly see Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, and Bill Clinton, along with 3 children whose faces have been covered with black boxes. Now, let's take a look at the original, uncensored photo, which, by the way, has been available on the internet well over a decade or more. Oh look, it's Michael's 2 children, Prince and Paris Jackson, and Diana Ross's son, Evan Ross. So what you're telling us is those aren't unidentified minors? They're not victims? And their identities have been public knowledge for over 20 years? Oh! It's quite obvious this photo was
Wait, was this what was circling around? Is that what was going on? Again, I've been out the loop. If that's what's been going on, this was circling around? That's hilarious. You would have been better off trying to do AI or something. That's what was... Had to be a slow news week. Had to be.
To look like it was taken on the Lolita Express, Epstein's jet, when in all actuality it was taken in MJ's trailer before his performance. Others who have worked with MJ over the years have also come out in defense of this photo. Karen Faye, Michael's longtime makeup artist, stated that she saw Jonathan Exley taking the photos that day, and that she was in the trailer herself, which was parked outside the Apollo Theater. According to her, Diana Ross was hanging out while she was prepping Michael, and Bill Clinton stopped by. Let's also not forget that Michael was friends with many presidents, and the Reagans were even his neighbors in Los Olivos. Karen also added that she went with Michael to Clinton's office in Harlem the next day for a meeting. Grace Rwamba, Michael's former nanny to his children, said on Facebook, "This photo is a perfect example of how easy it is to weave a grand story out of nothing. I remember this moment vividly. We were in a trailer outside the Apollo Theater in New York in April 2002. Michael was preparing to perform at the Every Vote Counts national voter registration and fundraising event for the Democratic Party. I was off to the side with BG, aka Blanket, MJ's youngest son. Consider how this photo was manipulated to pull Michael into the Epstein mess. Now major news outlets around the globe are on the case. I've seen this move before." Even Michael's longtime sound engineer, Michael Prince, commented in support under Grace's post. "Grace, I remember that vividly. Brad and I were there. I got to meet Mr. Clinton backstage. I was very impressed with him. We almost had him talked into playing sax on one of the songs, but he didn't have enough
His name is Michael Prince.
practice time, so we did it the old-fashioned way. Great day. Also,
What's his last name? James?
not sure if anyone's noticed this, but Diana Ross is in this photo too. And yet there hasn't been nearly as much scrutiny thrown her way as there has been at Michael Jackson. Why do you think that?
You know what? Nah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And even though the low-key could have been, but I'm going to leave it alone.
That is. And more importantly, why is everyone tweaking over a celebrity but unfazed to see political leaders chopping it up swimming with Epstein? Go ahead and let that marinate for a bit.
Real? Again, wait, what? Hold on. Well, we knew Clinton was about that life, like we already knew. Like, there's no secret.
As there has been at Michael Jackson. Why do you think that is? And more importantly, why is everyone tweaking over a celebrity but unfazed to see political leaders chopping it up
Wait, who is... Oh, wait, now... You putting me on... Hold on.
Why do you think that is? And more importantly, why is everyone tweaking over a celebrity but unfazed to see political leaders...
Who is that?
chopping it up swimming with Epstein? Go ahead and let that marinate for a bit. Now, this photo of MJ and Epstein was taken in 2003 while Michael was house hunting in Florida. He was reportedly looking at homes in Palm Beach, possibly hoping to move closer to his friend Barry Gibb. His real estate agent at the time, James Miskin, showed him several properties: a 64,000 square foot home on 6 acres, a spec home near Sloan's Curve, a 17,000 square foot mansion owned by Bernard Martin, and 358 El Brillo Way, which just so happened to be owned by Jeffrey Epstein. He was also a real estate mogul. This wasn't some secret meeting or a social hangout. This was a standard property tour. I mean, MJ had been viewing dozens of properties, supposedly around 30 in 2 weeks, and because it was Michael Jackson, Epstein asked for a photo. You know, like...
What photo shoot is this? You might have to watch this photo shoot. I'm sorry, like, I'm getting mad distracted.
Martin and 358 El Brillo Way, which just so happened to be owned by Jeffrey Epstein. He was also a real estate mogul. This wasn't some secret meeting or a social hangout. This was a standard property tour. I mean, MJ had been viewing dozens of properties, supposedly around 30 in 2 weeks, and because it was Michael Jackson, Epstein asked for a photo. You know, like any other fan would. And let's not forget that Epstein took photos with everyone. Nonetheless, Michael was in and out. There's no evidence that he was ever seen with Epstein beyond that single moment. Even a survivor of Epstein's crimes stated in their 2016 deposition that they met Michael Jackson at Epstein's home in Palm Beach, Florida, and explicitly said that nothing inappropriate happened. They said that they never gave MJ a massage, and that MJ did not allege any misconduct whatsoever. As for the house itself, it was later sold and demolished by developer Todd Michael Glazer, who rebuilt the site into a modern mansion. And just to add more confirmation, Michael's former bodyguard,
Matt Fittes,
publicly confirmed the house hunting story in a video on his Instagram.
Hey everyone, Matt Fittes here. I'm getting a lot of Michael Jackson fans reaching out to me and media about the Epstein Michael Jackson picture that seems to be all over the world right now. Now let me tell you how that came about. This is the truth. Don't get too excited because it's quite a simple explanation, okay? Seems like the media are trying to hook on to Michael Jackson's fame to make the story go bigger. Michael wanted to move to Palm Beach to be near his friend from the Bee Gees.
I'm sorry, I can't get over you literally had a former president all in the videos, dancing. And that wasn't a big story because I'm not here. It's like, that wasn't a big story, but Michael was. A guy who's dead for now going on, how long has it been now? Is it going on, it's about 17, about to be 17 years? We're still talking about that? But you have a former president who, no, I'm not even going, who already had some misconduct, known misconduct going on as president while in the office. That's not a big story. Let me guess, you're not going to find no photos of Agent Orange with Epstein either. There's just miraculously, there's no photos of that. Because I put money on it. If there was photos of that, we would have seen it by now. No photos of that, though. Just best buds, but somehow no photos of that. I wonder why the media is doing this campaign on Michael.
Barry Gibb. He was friends with all the Bee Gees. He's actually recorded some music with them and was recording music with them at the time. About 2003, if I remember correctly. It's a long time ago now, over 20 years ago. It's about 2003. I was his bodyguard, I was his friend. Michael wanted to view houses. So his team got him a real estate agent who lined up lots of viewings of property, multi-million-dollar mansions along Palm Beach. And guess what? One of them that was for sale was Jeffrey Epstein's mansion. That's right. Now, did anyone know who Jeffrey Epstein was back then? No. He was not famous back then. He would be doing whatever he was doing. No one knew what he was doing behind closed doors. And when you're Michael Jackson, when you view property, everybody wants to have a picture. From the cleaners, from the security, from the tenants who are renting it, and the landlords too, especially if they know it's Michael Jackson coming to view their house. So, did Michael Jackson know who Jeffrey Epstein was? He never had a clue. That was a 30-second picture. That was it. Then we moved on to the next viewing, the next property, the next one. And he wanted to be with his friends. He wanted to be with the Bee Gees. He spent a lot of time there. He went to Morris Gibb's funeral. He was recording music with Barry Gibb. I think some of you guys have seen some of the singles that have been recorded. Hopefully some more come out in the future. And he had a
Wait, is that the... It's all in the game, all in your name. That joint, I think that's what it is. We're the same. Yo. Oh, it took me a minute to click. Like, I think I know who you're talking about, actually.
a friend, a very close friend who lived down there who used to stay at his house and wanted to be with him as well. A doctor. That's it. That's the truth to the picture. It was just, can I have a picture of you, Michael? Before he left and went on to view another property. Jeffrey Epstein's house was on the market. I'm quite surprised this story's broken like this because back then, when we were viewing houses with him, and it was just myself, one other bodyguard, a doctor, and one of his other friends, when we were viewing all these properties at a rapid rate, it made big news in Florida that Michael Jackson was house hunting in Palm Beach. So I'm not sure why that's not being reported anywhere. So that's the truth. From someone who was there, who witnessed it. I didn't know who Jeffrey Epstein was. None of us did. We were in the financial world. They were not advisors to Michael Jackson, but his mansion was for sale. And that's where the picture came about. they all want a picture with Michael Jackson. And he was so polite, so nice to give that to them. Hope that helps end the controversy, ends the speculation, the nonsense that's going all over social media right now and the mainstream media. That's the truth. It's as simple as that. He was just wanted to buy a house in Palm Beach and that house is for sale. One of about 30 houses we viewed. Have a wonderful day. Thanks, everyone.
That's true. We were house hunting in 2003. Michael wanted to live near Barry Gibb, so we arranged through an agent to view properties for sale in Palm Beach. Epstein's house was for sale, and we went there with Michael, his kids, myself, and another bodyguard, a doctor friend, and Mark Lester to view it. Michael did not even know who the man was. Every house we viewed that week, the owners wanted photos with him. We had no idea who the owners were, as everything was arranged for us. That's all it was, a house hunting mission, nothing more. It was well recorded and publicized at the time that he was house hunting in the area. It's frustrating for me to see this now, as I was there as his bodyguard and friend. It was a 30-second photo, then on to the next viewing. The media wants consumers to believe that Michael Jackson is guilty so bad. They
Really
have
bad.
tried time and time again to create false narratives, associate MJ with things that had nothing to do with him, and distort the facts to the point where the truth becomes harder and harder to find. Let me say this loudly for the girls in the balcony. Michael Jackson was cleared on all charges he was accused of, cleared by the jury, the courts, and public opinion. Michael Jackson never had any involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. He never went to Epstein's island. There are no flight records, no phone logs, no emails, and no documents of any kind proving any connection.
But look, Hannah. Look at this right here. Is that not Michael Jackson's name in Epstein's so-called Black Book? That is Michael Jackson's name, but that's not his direct contact information. That's his attorney, short-term advisor's Sam Jen. And if you take a look at the 2025 versions of the recent DOJ leaks, you'll see it's conveniently redacted now, even though it was in full in 2020. So, Miss B with that sugar honey iced tea?
Hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your...
That real estate visit was simply that, a real estate visit. One of many MJ had around that time. This is clearly a distraction designed to take attention off of the major elites named in those Epstein files, like that man in the White House. And to once again try to dismantle a man who, 1, was proven innocent, 2, is not here to defend himself, and 3, is about to have a huge year in 2026 with the release of his biopic. So he's trending in the media, which makes this very convenient to pin on him. As Michael said on his 1995 album History on the song Tabloid Junkie, just because you read it in a magazine or see it on a TV screen, don't make it factual. And just like we said for Britney Spears at the height of her public scrutiny, we need to say it for Michael Jackson too. Leave Michael alone.
I'm tired. I'm really, really tired of the manipulation. I'm tired of how the press is manipulating everything that's been happening in this situation. They do not tell the truth. They're liars. You gotta remember something. The minute I started breaking the all-time record in record sales,
Yep.
I broke Elvis's records.
Beatles records?
I broke Beatles records. The minute it became the all-time best-selling album in history and the Guinness Book of World Records, overnight they called me a freak. They called me a homosexual. They called me a child molester. They said I tried to bleach my skin. They made everything to turn the public against me.
Yup. Facts. Facts.
This was all complete conspiracy. You have to know that.
Ava Savage doing the Lord's work once again. The media, when they have it in their mind who you are and what you are, it does not matter what you do. So we know why they're doing what they're doing with Michael right now. We all know why. Like it's not even a discussion. So I understand people wanted me to talk about it, and I appreciate people reaching out to me to be like, "Can you please talk about this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know what you want me to say because this is what they always been doing. They've been doing this since the beginning of time. Like Michael said, ever since he broke all those records, he did it as a black man in America, and you know how they feel. How they feel about when you break certain records. The same reason why The Wiz, which in my opinion is one of the greatest movies of all time, bombed in the box office. But when you talk to everybody, they say it's like one of the greatest movies ever. It's because it was remixing The Wizard of Oz, which in my opinion is whatever. Like, it's not really. It's a cool movie, but it's nowhere near The Wiz in my opinion. But The Wiz was an all black cast. Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, Russell, the comedian Russell, I can't remember his name, but all black cast, black music, black style, black imagery, all that. Doesn't get the proper promotion, doesn't get the proper marketing, doesn't get the fanfare, critics saying that Diana Ross didn't need to be the lead, all this negativity, right? Even though it's a great movie, nobody can really find anything negative to say about this movie if you're really being fair. But that's the way of the world, man. That's this. People are going to go out the way to discredit, disrespect someone's legacy when they have it out for you, when they have their own agenda, when they have their own narrative. And as it was said in the video, which it didn't even take me more than 3 seconds to figure out why they're doing that. It's because of the person who was the former president and the person who's in the White House now is closely associated with the same guy. And so what do we do to get their names kind of go to how do we find a distraction so that you forget about them? Well, let's talk about the most recognized person and human probably in history besides Jesus. That's what we're doing. It's sad, it's pathetic, but that's the media, and that's a portion of society as well. We're not going to act like it's just the media as well. There's a portion of society who has their mind made up, whether it's through whatever it is. And so, yeah, I mean, come on, man. It's not rocket science. We already know what it is. We already know what it is. But yeah, shout out to Hannah Savage again, doing the damn thing. Shout out to whoever your editor is. I don't know if it's you or whoever, but shout out to whoever your editor is, because again, there's someone who edits all his videos. It's just the headache of seeing those clips. I'm like, bro, you do the damn thing. But yeah. It's sad. It's pathetic. I'm like, really? You would have been better off just trying to do AI and put Michael in a room with Jeffrey Epstein. Like, you would have been better off doing that. Like, in the age that we're in right now, like, you should have just did that if you really wanted to cause a scene. But yeah, it's whatever, bro. Like, I could care less what people. We don't care what people say. I don't care. I really don't care, because we all know it's propaganda, it's BS, it's dirt. You already know, man. You already know. But yeah, that's what's again. So I have not been paying attention at all. Again, shout out to one of my best supporters of this channel. What about Baby Boy? Who put me onto this? And be honest with you, I was planning on doing reaction to a different video. But I have not known at all what really has been going on. Like, I kind of see some headlines about, hey, Michael, I'm like, whatever. Like, I just like I'm not even paying cost you nothing, pay me no mind. Ain't no time for fronting something cousin, sister, thugs, y'all need hugs. Yeah, it's just so pathetic. So, man been gone. Man been gone since 2009. 2009. You have two presidents. One is a former president. One is a current president. You already have two people who should be the main focus of a story that really was involved with them. But we're talking about Michael, who's been gone since 2009. Yo, that's crazy, man. Stupid. But yeah, my advice to y'all, don't worry about this. Go on about your lives. It's just another day at the office when it comes to Michael, man. There's nothing you can't. He is unbreakable, unshakable. There's nothing you do that no matter what kind of dirt you try to put, smut you try to put on him, you cannot ruin and taint the legacy of this man. And when it comes around April 24th, 2026, in roughly about 4 months from now, we will show out. We're gonna show out. You think y'all showing out? Oh, we're gonna show you what showing out is. Oh, trust. So don't worry about it. We got y'all. But like, comment, subscribe, share all the things are the things. They gotta go home. You gotta get to stepping. Peace.
Did you tell me this was over?